Hello and welcome to Wednesday Live with Evie. This is number 60, and today's topic is how to avoid the temptation of bright and shiny objects. So, whether you're watching live or on the recording, say hello in the comments so that I know you are here. And welcome. And I would love to know, what are the bright and shiny objects that you find yourself regularly sidetracked by? So what are your bright and shiny objects? So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Evie Burke and I work with women entrepreneurs and I help them take their productivity to a new level. So at the end of the day, they're not worried about what didn't I get done today or what is it that I have to do tomorrow, but instead they can really be completely and just fully present with the people that they choose to spend their non-working hours with. And like I said, today's topic is all about shiny objects and resisting the temptation of them. And the topic came about because a couple weeks ago I was cleaning up my office. I was doing some filing of some paperwork that needed to just be filed into my file cabinet instead of filed into the pile of things to be filed. And I was noticing that the folders that I was putting things in were, you can see the file cabinet right back here. But I was noticing that the folders that I was putting things in were very full, and the drawer of these hanging files, the drawer was pretty full. There wasn't a lot of extra space to keep things growing, to keep adding things. And it had been a couple of years since I had kind of pulled out the older files and taken them to where I store them in the basement. We have a big file cabinet down there. So I started going through the drawers, and as I was going through the drawers, I came across some folders that I had added probably about 2 years ago. And these folders had names like To Read and Programs, and they were just full of articles and freebies I had printed out and workbooks and trainings that I had printed out over the course of maybe 2 or 3 years. So at this point, they are now 2 to 5 years old. But I had put them away because I might need them later. These are good reference materials. And as I was paging through looking at what was in these folders, I came across some various articles and trainings around social media. And I just had to laugh because social media changes so quickly. Like changes that Facebook was announcing a month ago, they're now announcing, different changes now. So social media from 2 years ago, like how is that ever going to be useful to me now? So I ended up just recycling the whole lot of it because I wasn't going to need it. But it reminded me, it didn't even remind me, like it was evidence of the bright and shiny objects that I was being sidetracked with, 2 to 5 years ago, and just this treasure trove of information. And some of it, if I were to pull it out and apply it right now, would it be useful? Absolutely. But if it's not where I'm looking to go right now, or if it's not a focus of my business right now, if it doesn't move forward the goals I've already set for myself, then, it's probably not very useful. So, like I said, there was a lot of bright and shiny object syndrome going on. And it could be those the new fad, like, oh, everybody's using this new social media thing. Or it might be, hey, this one person is offering this one-time training on such and such. And you're like, oh, that's something that I was thinking of doing, in maybe 6 months. Maybe I better get on this call now so that I have that information when I'm ready to use it in 6 months. And or it's something like somebody says, oh, how to, get 5 clients in the next week, follow these 3 easy steps. And you're like, I could use 5 clients. That would be great. and you go and you take advantage of these things, and you do the free seminars and you do the free workshops, and you're not actually moving the things forward in your business that you want to move forward because you're so busy chasing, that next great big thing. And it can all become a bit of information hoarding, like it did for me, because, oh, I might need this later. So soon you have a bunch of space taken up, not just physically, but mentally too, with all of these things, these trainings, or ideas, or whatever it is for you, that aren't actually serving where you are or where your business is right now. So some of those things might be things like, oh, I should update my website. Oh, I should get a new logo. Oh, I should make better use of this social media platform. Oh, I should learn how to network or market in this way. I should fill in the blank, right? So that's really one of the first ways you can tell when you're starting to maybe chase a bright and shiny object is, where are you saying, oh, I should be doing this, but you're not really thinking about what actually it is that you need right now. And it tends to be followed by, once I do this, then I'll really be ready to do that. But they're not really things that need to happen right now. So how do you stop this pattern in its tracks? How do you see that you're chasing a bright and shiny object versus something that really is going to move your business forward in the direction that you want? And one of those is noticing, are you shoulding all over yourself? Are you saying, oh, I should do that? Oh, I should learn this? Another thing is to really trust that when you're ready to do something, when it actually is the time to do something, that you're going to find the information that you need. You're going to really believe in the adage, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and not hoard a bunch of information so that you have it when you're ready to, right? And then the second thing here is to cultivate clarity. So be really clear on what your intentions and your goals are for your business, and use that clarity to decide which things you are or aren't going to partake in. So a lot of times we can really get caught up in, the newest fad or the newest training that's offered, those one-time only offers things, right? And and we want to take advantage of it, right? We have a little bit of that fear of missing out. If I don't do this now, it's not going to be available later. And we get caught up in that fear, instead of really thinking more strategically about it and thinking about, what actually do I need in my business right now? What are my goals? What are my intentions? And what are the strategies that I've already laid out to help me achieve those things? So, of course, one of the ways to cultivate that clarity is to have very clearly defined intentions and goals for your business. To know exactly what it is that you intend to happen in your business in the next month or 3 months or whatever it is. To know what the goals are that you have committed yourself to achieve those intentions. And what are the strategies that you have in place to make all of that happen, right? So just let me take a step back here, because I'm using some terminology that's very specific to the way I teach. So when I talk about intentions, a lot of people call those things goals that I call intentions. So for me, an intention is something that you set for your business that you cannot control. So working with X number of clients, making X number of dollars, I call those intentions, because you cannot make a decision for somebody else to work for you or work with you. So those are intentions. You intend to have X number of private clients. You intend to have X number of consults over the next month or year. You intend to make X amount in your business each month, right? Money comes through people and you can't control whether they say yes or no, so it's an intention. A goal is the things that you're doing to really make that path toward your intention just as easy as possible. So goals are things that you can control. Goals are, I'm going to talk to 10 people this month or have, 3 one-on-ones, where it might take a number of phone calls to have those 3 one-on-ones, or maybe it's even, I'm going to email 5 people or 10 people or whatever it is to have one-on-ones with them. I'm going to post to my Facebook page daily. I'm going to post once a week about whatever offer or program I have coming up. Things like that you can control, that you can write down and you can say, yes, I completed all of the tasks that go with that. So those are the goals. Strategies are then the details. So if you know that, strategies, there's actions then is probably the better word to use there. The actions are the things that go with those goals. So if you're going to make 10 phone calls, then the actions are making that list of who are the 10 people that you're going to call, right? So each step builds on the next one. And if you know what your intentions and your goals and your actions are, then when an opportunity comes about to attend that free webinar or get this freebie or whatever that bright and shiny object might be for you, then you can take the step back and say, how does this fit in to my goals and my intentions for my business right now? And if one of your goals is using a particular social media more regularly, then maybe a training on how to use Facebook or use whatever that social media is exactly what you need right now. So yeah, take advantage of that. But if something pops up that talks about, here's a way to automate your email addresses and your email list, and you're not focusing on building your list right now, then maybe you let that one go and just trust that when building your email list is more important, that you'll find the perfect training for you then. All right. So let me just review that here because there's a lot there that I covered. So the first thing, for how to avoid those shiny objects, right? The first thing is notice maybe where you're shooting all over yourself and trying to jump on, oh, I should do this and oh, I should do that. Kind of reel it in, notice that. The second one is trust that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So when you're ready to do XYZ, that the information that you need will easily be available and you don't need to, grab it and hoard it now because it might not be available later. Just trust that it will be available and continue on with the other things that you're doing. And then the third one is to cultivate clarity. And that, again, is to be very clear about your intentions and your goals and use that as a filter for deciding whether that shiny object is a shiny object or something that you really should, forgive the should, but something that you really do want to be doing. Now, if you want to cultivate that clarity and you left to your own devices, you're not going to sit down and take the time, to plan the next quarter or the next month, then I invite you to join the Unnamed Productivity Club. And what we do there every single month is we, at the end of the month, plan the next month. And so that planning workshop, that planning party is coming up tomorrow, Thursday, April 29th at 11 a.m. And I invite you to join us. It's 90 minutes. It's on your computer, kind of like this, but we use Zoom so we can interact a little bit more. And I just walk you through the steps that you need to plan out April. We're also going to do some quarterly planning. So I don't think I've mentioned that to the ladies in the club right now. So surprise, we're going to do some quarterly planning. But I'll walk you through that step by step. We're going to review the last quarter. We're going to do some high level planning for the next quarter. And then we're going to do planning for April and next week. So this will allow you to walk away on Thursday, at 12:30 Central with a plan for April. So instead of just having the best of intentions for the things that you want to get done in April, you'll actually have a plan laid out to make that your reality. All right. And then continuing on into April, there's accountability. So you can check in every week and say, these are the things that are my top priority right now. And we'll hold you accountable and we'll hold that space for you. And if that is something that you are interested in, I would love to have you join us. I'm just pasting that link in the description, in the comments below. And it's $17 a month right now. That price will go up. I don't have a date for the price going up, but it will be before the end of summer, probably in the next couple of months. So if you want to join us and continue to join us at the $17 a month, do it now before the price goes up. And those who also join early also get to help design what it becomes in the next few months. Since we're still at the beginning stages of it, I am open to suggestions and feedback on what it is that the members would really like to see. So it doesn't always mean that I'll do those things, but it does mean that I will hear the suggestion. So today, like I said, we covered, the topic was avoiding those bright, shiny objects, specifically how to avoid the temptation of bright and shiny objects. And of those 3 tips that I gave you, the one that really is the most powerful is being really clear on what your goals and your intentions are. So whether you do it through the Productivity Club or you do it some other way, set some time aside this week or early next week and plan out what you want your April to look like. Set those goals and intentions for yourself. So again, when those opportunities come, you have a way to discern whether they are bright and shiny objects or things that you really do want to be doing. So that brings me to the end of today. I hope you have just an absolute fabulous week and that April ends up being one of your best months ever. And until next week, much love.